Okay, another training camp in the books. Almost 4 weeks here. We had a little bit of an extended stay. It was a great stay, really mission accomplished as far as what we wanted to do from this segment. Great here. It's great to be here in Grand Park. Our team loves being here in Grand Park. We just the volunteers, the whole setup here at this facility, the city of Westfield. This has been tremendous. Our players love it here. So really good work. Get packed up here, get out of here, get ready to go play this last preseason game in Detroit to help us make some tough decisions that we're going to have to make to put this team together. Thankfully, it's going to be tough decisions, but our guys are ready and we're looking forward to the contest.
What was your message to the players at the end when you were breaking?
Just reminding of the commitment that we made to each other here. We've had some time here. We have a clear vision of where we want to go, who we want to be, and how we want to get there. We made a clear commitment to each other on how we were going to do that, and that we were going to do whatever it takes to get there. So, just reminding us of that message.
Frank, I would assume no surprises or setbacks with Carson. He's been out here the last 3 days.
No, it's been all positive, and so feel very good about where he's at.
He's not playing Friday, I would assume.
That's correct.
Best to ask.
Yeah, we got to ask you a question, Frank.
The thoughts cross my mind, sneak him in there for a bit.
Yeah.
Frank, when you look at the roster cut downs, where do you look at from a receiver standpoint as far as how tough that's going to be, meaning receivers 5 and 6 if you guys keep 6?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and we feel very confident in our receiver group. A lot of guys that can make plays that we feel good about. You got a lot of things factor into it, including special teams, but then also the role that they play. Like certain guys, you use in different ways. So that'll be a tough decision.
Frank, when
you look at as far as, do you think that receiving group is getting enough credit? Of course, you hear about the TYs and what Zach can do, but it seems like from a depth standpoint, that could be one of the deepest positions on the roster.
Yeah, no, and obviously we feel great about it, but we really haven't put anything out there yet. We have here, we see it, we feel good about it, but we got to prove that come regular season time. So, no, we're not looking for that credit just yet. So we want to keep stacking together practices, feeling good about each other. So we'll be ready to go.
As you look at this rookie class, have you been maybe not pleasantly surprised, but pleased with the work that these guys have put in to be able to get out there on Sundays?
Yeah, I feel really good about them, and guys have come. One thing about here, we draft guys with a mentality that are mature, guys that know how to work, guys that fit to our culture really well. So everything's going very well for those young guys.
How do you begin to attack Seattle, Frank? How quickly does that start?
Right after this Detroit game, we'll get into it. I mean, coaches will start getting into it. We don't like getting the players too far ahead. That it can get a little bit stale. So everybody knows what we got to do. Everybody knows we got to go have a good day of work up in Detroit, play winning football, make the decisions that we need to make as far as the roster go, and then just building, getting our bodies ready, right, our minds, work the fundamentals and technique. That next week will be about that. Coaches will get a little bit ahead, but really after this game with Detroit, it's all eyes are on Seattle.
As you look at the roster that's coming, do you feel like you're too deep on that offensive line right now? Do you feel like that's a good place?
Yeah, I do, and those guys have gotten a ton of reps. Julian has come in and done a good job. All the guys have been done well. I think Julian's established himself, there at the left tackle position. But we feel good about, the other guys that have been repping out there as well. But right now, it's that Julian has that edge there, and so we feel great about the depth there. I mean, having those 3 starters on the left side, and Ryan not practicing really afforded us the opportunity to get a good look at those guys.
And so just to follow up, the two injured guys, obviously Fisher and then Pinter. I can't remember if we asked you about Eric, but do you have a sense on how close he might be? Are we getting close? And then how's Pinter?
Yeah, I think Eric is doing well. I feel really good about where he's at. But that's just the kind of thing. I'm just relying on the docs on that one, right? I mean, I can't for them to pull the trigger, but we've all seen him out there, doing some work, and he looks good. So, but it's just taking that last step. There's just an intent, as we all know, there's an intensity level that comes from playing that it's just hard to match when you're doing it out there. So, and Pinter's, making good progress, and obviously we love Danny. We feel like he's a great piece for our offense.
Frank, did you decide that Jacob going to start Friday?
Yeah, Jacob's going to start on Friday. Probably mix up the playing time. We went back and forth with that. Talked to, and I can't remember if I told you guys this not early. I told you the starters are playing, but I talked to Coach Campbell. They're not playing their starters, so we kind of reevaluated. We're not going to end up playing our starters. Most of our starters aren't going to play. So Jacob will start, and we'll just kind of rotate the quarterbacks, kind of like we've been doing. But we'll just go with the flow of the game.
Had he said that you're going to play some starters, you might have. I mean, you sort of coordinate that.
Yeah, I was on the fence anyway. I was prepared to play the guys a little bit, and not much, but just a little final tune-up. And then when I found out they weren't playing theirs, that kind of made the decision easy. That kind of made the decision easy.
Does that make you a little like I'm just trying to figure out what coaches are where they're coming down on this. Like, so you get a half of your guys in the preseason. Is that enough? Does that make you worried? Because you guys had some ACL.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good where we're at. I feel like we got a lot of good physical work. Been here for 4 weeks. Worked really hard. Did get some quality time. Got practice. Got 2 days of practice against the Panthers as well. So I feel like physically we're in good shape.
Could you have an update on Quentin? I mean, we've asked you a lot about Carson, the same injury, but how's Quentin look so far?
Yeah, he looks good. He's handled the individual stuff that he's done well. I think there's you get a little bit of you get an appropriate amount of soreness, which we knew was going to happen with both these guys, but it's a question of how do they respond day after day, and what level and how much volume can you build of work with a level of soreness that is acceptable. And those guys, they're talking to the trainers and the doctors about figuring that balance out.
Okay. Last one here.
Yeah, just physically, what more do Carson and Quentin need to prove, I guess, to prove they're ready for week 1?
I think, go through multiple days in a row of padded practices and be completely full, where you're not limited, where you're taking every rep and of a full practice, like a normal Wednesday and Thursday practice for us. So
seems possible in the near future. It seems possible. I'm not saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're on a good track, but there's no guarantees. So, I'm optimistic, but again, this is all new to me, this kind of injury, this kind of stuff. So I know if their mindset counts any for it, it makes me more optimistic, but you got to deal with the reality of the injury as well.